Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia Ying, your spiritual strategist and legacy architect who is here to help you have it all because you truly deserve to have it all. This is literally my fourth attempt in trying to record the beginning of this video because apparently it doesn't want any audio, and this is the most important part of the reading. So I am praying that this will go through. Clearly it's that important. Otherwise it wouldn't be like, they wouldn't be trying to prevent me from giving you all the intel. Now, the first thing that happened was the Tower card flew out of the deck sideways. All right, so this is a Tower card. It flew out of the deck sideways. Immediately, Spirit told me that you are mid-tower moment, which, you are already feeling that stressed out, feeling behind, feeling like you need to get everything in order because it's already, the middle of January, and like, what are you supposed to be doing? And like, oh my God, and da 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 da. So let me give you the metaphor or the vision that Spirit gave me that will make it make more sense and that will help you feel like you're not behind because you're actually right on time. So 2025 was really all about you being a caterpillar going into your cocoon and turning into goo so that you could transform into a butterfly. That involved releasing all of those false identities, all of those false beliefs, getting rid of the toxic people, getting rid of business offers that just aren't really aligning with who you truly are, which is a butterfly. And you are now actually coming into your own and into your prime. So even if you are someone who is older and is later in life, you didn't miss your opportunity. It's coming up in this year of 2026. Hooray. All right. So this is good news. So what they mean by being mid-tower moment is that now that it's 2026 in January at the time of filming this video, you're really like the butterfly who has already fully developed its wings inside the cocoon. And now you are trying to push your way out of the cocoon so that you can fly and, live your beautiful life. But here's the caveat. So when you are like struggling to get out of the cocoon, that's why it feels like, oh, this is so uncomfortable and this is so annoying. And why isn't this working? Why did I have to film the beginning of this video 4 flipping times? Right? The irritation and the anger is valid, but there's a reason for it. And the reason is that when the butterfly is actually trying to use its wings to push itself out of the cocoon, that is actually strengthening the wings muscles. So if it was not able to develop these strong muscles with its wings by trying to push against the cocoon, it would not have the strength to be able to fly all around and be able to gather its nectar and enjoy life. Very similarly, if you wanted to try and bypass all of that and just cut yourself out of the cocoon, you would not have your muscles or your wing muscles developed enough in order to actually be able to carry you through the flight. And in an actual real butterfly's life, you would only be able to last like 2 days versus like, the full lifetime of a butterfly. And I don't want that for you. So take it. You're not going to have to wait all year to get out of the cocoon. It might be maybe until Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year, which is February 17th, 2026, or at the very latest at the end of Q1, right? When we start the spring equinox. So give yourself a break. You're doing a great job. And what it's going to require you to do is this card, Temperance. All right. Temperance was on the back of the deck. And this, if there's anything that you get from this video, please let it be that you need to exercise temperance during 2026. Whether you are a content creator or a firewood industry and you do really well with getting attention units and views and being able to post 3 to 5 times a day, you're still going to need to exercise temperance because this is all about knowing when to push and when to pull back, when to actually speak and when to actually be silent, when to actually go for the gold and when to actually sit and wait, because energies are going to be clashing, right? We've got all of the outer planets moving from Pisces into Aries, which makes it very fiery. And then we've also got in Chinese astrology the fire horse year. The fire horse in the 60 pillars is the most powerful fire sign. So think of it like a wildfire, and it is going to burn everything in its vicinity. So if you do not have the temperance, right, and the wherewithal and the systems and the structures to contain the fire, it can also burn your house down. And we want you to still have a warm house to live in and have all of your assets be intact. So that is the essence of the message of these two important cards. But this is really the theme for the rest of January until February 17th, 2026, when Chinese New Year starts and when the real Fire Horse year starts. Although you're going to already start feeling that Fire Horse energy come February 4th. All right. Okay. Now let's get into the rest of the reading that I already recorded. And again, if any of this interests you and you want to learn more about exactly what industries and in Chinese astrology you would be better suited for, so that you can still build a legacy that lasts for 15 years instead of 15 minutes of fame, then comment below and I can do a deep dive tutorial so that you too can figure out how you can best utilize your energies to create your systems and structures so that you don't burn out and feel tired AF throughout 2026. All right, let's get into the rest because it's really good. You are going to have to work a little harder. I don't sorry. Let me just rephrase. There is going to be some like grunt work or hard work with the 8 of Pentacles that is going to be required, but on a positive note, in order for your victory with the 6 of Wands to come into place. Okay. So there's good news. It's not all bad. And I promise this is actually a really positive reading. But basically the 8 of Pentacles is it is about refining your systems. It's about ensuring that your streams of income are set up, that the containers are big enough to be able to hold the amount of wealth that you want to receive this year. This is about really understanding the structures that are going to give you the legacy and longevity of like continual wealth, instead of just, oh, I need to get it to survive and like then crash and then survive and crash and stay in hustle culture, because we all know that's going to burn everybody out. Now, going back to the tarot card of the Tower in this side position, Spirit was showing me a vision that's basically emulating this 8 of Pentacles. So what you're needing to do from now and like honestly for quarter 1, but like especially for January and February, is to really set up your systems and to continue to purge out this old identity of lack. So what I mean by that is I want you to think for a second like a butterfly, right? You were a caterpillar before, then 2025 turned you into a butterfly. It showed you like what was really not your true identity, the false identity that you have been living with, and then revealing who you actually came here to be, which is a butterfly, right? Now that January hit of 2026, this is really a time where you're now a fully formed butterfly, but you're still in the cocoon. Okay. So, it's really interesting, fun fact, when a butterfly is coming out of a cocoon, it struggles because it's a completely different form. And when it is trying to, break its way out of the cocoon, it struggles. And its wings aren't developed, as in like the muscles aren't developed on the wings. So the more that it has to struggle and like push and like peel this open, even though it looks like it's suffering and struggling, it's actually strengthening its wing muscles enough so that it can fly around as a butterfly for however long it lives as a butterfly. Does that make sense? So, in a way, and I know this sucks, but this whole like stressful process that you're going through where you're like learning how to strengthen your muscles it is actually going to benefit you, because the stronger that you become and you start to flex this new muscle of like being your new self and understanding, oh yeah, these are my values. This is what I believe. This is how I act. This is how I move. This is how I would do things. This is how I set up my business. This is how I receive the money with ease, etc. All of a sudden, once you start flexing and using that muscle more, that's when you become stronger. That's when you become sovereign. And that's when you become unstoppable. And I feel like unstoppable is kind of the theme word for this fiery fire horse year. It can cause ego clashes, but we want you to be so certain in who you are and what you came here to do and how you came here to do it, that your victory will be inevitable, right? And so let's continue, right? So does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense, because that's honestly like really good news. Now, one of the things as we move forward is to understand that this is going to be really truly about mastering your emotions with the King of Cups here, okay? You are an empath. You are really sensitive. You love people. You want to see humanity saved and not getting like, arrested, even though they're US citizens. You like to fight the good fight. You are a visionary leader. You most likely have a double mission, as in like you have your human mission and then like a secondary mission as like a light worker here to help the collective. However, as we continue going on, the Eight of Swords, this is one of the things that you have to continue to work on, right? It's removing those limiting beliefs and understanding that staying in the false identity of being scared, of being a victim, of being poor, of whatever it is, of doubting yourself, that is what is keeping you in that cycle of lack, right? So once you can like basically you can free yourself. You can free yourself. You can free yourself. You can free yourself, right? And look at this. When you do so, 9 of Cups, all your wishes will start to come true. Like I said, this is a really positive reading, so I'm not trying to be a doomsdayer, all right? Like this could be your 2026. Claim that in the comments, please. Now, I don't want you to freak out. I want you to think of this as you completing your winter arc. You're just halfway through. So don't stress. You're supposed to be hibernating and doing all of this stuff on the back end. Hence why I only have skincare on right now, because I am trying to heal my skin barrier and bring my skin back to its luminescent self and do all of the things, right? So we're just mid process. This is not the full launch of, oh my God, look at brand new me. This is my new identity. This is what I do. We don't do that right now. We are in the winter arc. You want to get all of your systems set up before you do that. Now, here's one little additional side message before I get into like practical steps, I guess. But the six of Cups, the Death card, and the Knight of Wands came out. All right. And I found this to be really interesting because I feel like this card has popped up a lot recently. And I really feel like this is sort of like it's giving. Now, usually it's about giving and receiving, right? And like getting back to childhood and all of that stuff. But for especially with what's going on right now in Minneapolis and with ICE agents being out of control, it's sort of like how can you give and receive in your community, right? Like where can you um, be the support that's needed in your community, but also still making sure to give support to yourself. And so it's again, when I look at these three things, it's like you're going through a death and rebirth right now of redefining what this relationship of give and take looks like to you, right? Because there's going to be a new way with the Knight of Wands of taking action in how you interact with your community, how you give to others. And then if you run your own business, it's kind of like how much are you allowing other people to take over your time? That's one of the big things that's coming through really strongly is like you love people, you care about people, but you tend to overgive. And that's also part of the death and rebirth that needs to be changed, right? Because again, in order for you to like stand in this like victorious moment with the Six of Wands, it's like things have to change in order for you to be able to go out there and, speak your truth and get paid your worth for what you do and not get taken advantage of. Because done are the days where you're going to be drained every single day by just trying to make ends meet. That is not the life for you. That is not what the universe had planned for you. And that is not part of your fate. So you have to, that's why you're going through this death and rebirth, confirmation with that mid tower moment that's showing you that you really are on the rise. This is a year where you can have all of the things, but you have to set up your systems now. You can't just like rush and like just post. It's not going to help you. So take some time. So we've got 4 practical actions, I guess. We've got the Two of Wands. We've got the Page of Pentacles. There we go. We have got the Devil card, okay, which isn't necessarily bad. And then we've got the Artist, which is the bonus card, okay, which I love this card so much. So when I see this is really saying like, first, pick your path. If you're having issues picking your path, go and invoke Hecate or Hecate, all right? She's really good at really helping you choose which path to take, to illuminate which path is going to bring you to the road of like happiness and fulfillment, right? Versus still staying stuck in the trauma and the suffering and the hustling and not getting what you are owed. So, what you need to do is meditate, commune with Hecate, your spirit guides, whatever, and really, really choose the path that is going to give you that full sovereignty, that wealth, that happiness, and most importantly, that fulfillment, right? If you want to be unstoppable in 2026, you really have to get clear on exactly what it is that is going to make you feel fulfilled in your soul, like not just your bank account. Because I will tell you, the money will feel empty once you have all of your basic necessities met. All right. Then, and even those of you who are really wealthy and have all of the things, you know what I'm talking about. You need to restructure your business and your brand so that it's more soul fulfilling for you. You need to align it with what your soul really came here to do. Now, once you do that, the Page of Pentacles is really going to illuminate these like new ways of income that can come through. So I see for some of you that like you might be getting more heavenly wealthy benefactors, maybe wanting to like support what you're building because it's so innovative. This also might be like a little an unexpected windfall. So maybe you do win like a lottery that gives you like a good extra chunk of change. Maybe you do get a bonus at work that you weren't really expecting. Maybe you do find like another income stream or like a side business that is passive that brings you in like what you need to survive, and then as you build your business that also brings in more money, right? It's going to be in these different ways that you weren't necessarily thinking about, but again, as you're choosing this new identity or you're stepping into your truest identity, these new wealth paths will be illuminated for you. Again, Hecate, please go commune with her. If you need me to do a video about that, let me know. Now, with the Devil card and the Artist, so this is about understanding that like you do not have to chase what other people are chasing. This is going to be so key for you this year in general, all right? It's going to be loud. If you didn't think it was loud now, it is going to be louder. There's going to be so many people talking, so many people chasing for attention, so many people trying to like, it's going to be a lot of noise. Again, all of that Aries fire or all of that ding fire horse in Chinese astrology, it's going to be a lot. And so you're going to be tempted. You're going to be so fucking tempted to try and compete with all of that, to try and like be like, oh, but I'm here. Oh, but you should buy from me. Oh my God, you should totally get this sweatshirt because like X, Y, and Z, and like buy from me, buy from me. and that is not going to further your legacy. So the devil card is a reminder that just because it's working for someone else, just because someone made $900,000 selling on TikTok Shop, does not necessarily mean that you need to jump on that bandwagon and try to get the most out of it. It may not be the best way for you to succeed. You could burn out. You could like, I don't know. You could try, right? If it's aligned with who you truly are, then yes. But if it's not, like, it's fool's gold. Like, you're chasing fool's gold. So stick to who you are, build your legacy, make it consistent, get your structures up, and get your new operating system, like, going like a well-oiled machine. And the devil isn't going to take you down. I think the devil also, it's like, the devil can ask you, like, hey, so I can give you everything that you want. You just have to give me your soul after 10 years, right? A la K-drama um, Netflix show, My Demon, right? Which, hashtag, if you haven't seen it, you should probably see it. It's so good. But you can always say no, right? The devil isn't forcing you to, it isn't like holding a knee on your neck. It isn't putting like a pew pew right in your face. It's just it's alluring. It's tempting. It's like, "Oh, well, I could solve all your problems. All you have to do is just give me your soul afterwards," right? And you're like so desperate that you're like, "Okay, I need it." But do you? You don't, right? Just food for thought. Because ultimately who you are is an artist. Ultimately, who you are is a sovereign creator. Ultimately, who you are is a badass visionary. You're a trailblazer. You're here to make changes for the collective. You're here to be a space that lifts people up, not take people down. That's why, like, if you are really one of the true visionary leaders, you're realizing that overconsumption is literally polluting not only humans, but also this planet. We don't need 47 different shades of lipstick that's like the same color pink. You don't need the extra blush. You don't need the extra um, skincare thing. You don't need the extra, 10,000th fragrance or that hoodie just because everybody else has the hoodie in order to feel cool so you can be like part of the in crowd. Like, it's overconsumption. Now, I do love capitalism in the fact that like now so many other like specific products are being created. I just hope that one day someone can find a way to reduce the like the mass production of it, because it's great to know, like, oh, this hyaluronic acid worked for me, in my 20s, but it's not going to work for me in my 50s. I need something else. So there are certain products that you need at certain stages of your life, and it's not bad to take an inventory and see what you actually need. This does not mean that you need to get stripped down to the basics and that like buying things is bad. It's just buying in excess just to buy, just for the dopamine hit, just for the thing. That's consumption. That is not being a creator like the artist. You are a creator. You came here to create. You came here to draw. You came here to dream. You came here to take those dreams and turn them into a 3D reality. That is who you are. So when you own that as your true identity, then with the temperance and putting everything in place and like getting your systems up, your success is guaranteed while still having your empathy of the King of Cups intact, without having these old limiting beliefs have a chokehold on you, so that you can have your dreams come true with ease. Okay? If you enjoyed this tarot reading, of course, subscribe to my YouTube and my Substack, wherever those bells are. Um, and I just wanted to let you know that there are some really exciting things that I've been creating behind the scenes that I'm really excited to share with you in the coming weeks. I'm still in my winter arc as well, and I love to practice what I preach. So when something that is this deep and profound comes through, I always love to share it with you, but I also love to apply it myself. So I am not going to be doing as much tarot moving forward because I have learned a lot about my true energetics and how what the easiest way for me to build my wealth and legacy are. And I'm really excited because I have been developing these like equations to synthesize all of the different spiritual modalities that we have, um, in order for you to be able to determine what your best way is in order to make the bag and to create your legacy and to do it with like feeling so happy and fulfilled deep within your soul. So that is coming up soon. If you are interested in it, I am going to be having some one-on-one high-end services and also developing this course so that you can study it at your own pace. And I'm really excited. So I will be looking for some beta testers for it. So if that's something that you're interested in, of course, comment below and subscribe to my Substack because for free, because that is where I'll be posting about that when that time comes. But I just want to let you know that, you know, this is such a crazy, crazy time to be alive. I'm going to be dead ass honest. It is such a wild time to be alive because we are literally witnessing history in the making. And I think for the majority of you who are part of my visionary leaders, superstars, and those who identify with being the chosen ones, this is going to be a pivotal year. Last year showed you who you truly were. This year, it's to start acting like it. That's the TLDR of this whole entire message. This year is for you to show up as your true, most authentic, visionary, superstar, chosen oneself. The trailblazer that is here to help the collective, to change the ways, to make this world a better place in whatever area that your soul has chosen to do that in. It's really empowering. It's really freeing. And if there's any personal advice that I can give you, it would be that you don't have to play by their rules anymore. Like, you don't need to chase the algorithm. Your energy is the algorithm. I'm going to do more videos on like deeper dive educational videos, especially to break down how you can understand what your elements are, how you can determine whether you are a firewood cycle person or not, what the best kind of industries are in order to create your wealth. And as well as just understanding why you even came here to earth to begin with this particular lifetime and what you were really meant to do, what you really wanted to experience. Because once you understand what you came here to learn and experience, it becomes so much easier to understand and embrace and learn those lessons with minimal amount of suffering. I'm not going to say none because heartbreak is heartbreak. You know what I mean? So like don't get it twisted. Like I understand sometimes we do sometimes have to suffer a little bit. However, it doesn't have to be so painstakingly devastational as it has been without this knowledge. So I'm building honestly something that I wish I had when I was growing up, because it would have greatly shifted my path. But we'll get into that. You know, podcast is coming soon, all of the tea. So, yes, I love you so much. Thank you so much for still sticking out with me. And I will see you all soon in the next video. I will be doing longer form YouTube videos like this more often in 2026 instead of just doing short form content. So whenever you need a break from all of the noise, please come visit my channel for some clear and loving guidance and for some strategic strategy and wisdom that is really going to help prevent you from getting scorched this year. All right? You've got this. I love you. Stay safe out there.